Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Eric Waltzman, and I'm about to show you how to stack $1,000 in cash in the next 3 months, even if you're broke right now. No side hustle required, no eating ramen for every meal, just a real system that actually works because I used it myself when I was drowning in debt. Quick heads up, this is for educational purposes only and not financial advice. Now, here's why this matters so much. According to the Federal Reserve, 4 in 10 Americans can't cover a $400 emergency without borrowing money or selling something. That's not a character flaw. That's just what happens when nobody teaches us this stuff. When I was 24, my car needed a $600 repair, and I had to put it on a credit card at 22% interest because I had exactly $73 in my checking account. That one emergency kept me in debt for an extra 8 months. A $1,000 emergency fund is your financial shield. It keeps Murphy's Law from becoming a debt spiral. It turns a crisis into an inconvenience. And the best part? You don't need a raise, a new job, or some crazy sacrifice to build it. You just need a system, and that's exactly what I'm giving you today. Let's break down the 5 steps that'll get you there. Step 1 is to open a separate high-yield savings account today and put it somewhere you won't accidentally spend it. Here's what I mean. When your emergency fund sits in your regular checking account, it's not really an emergency fund. It's just money that'll get absorbed by groceries, that concert ticket, or whatever else pops up. I use a high yield savings account at an online bank that's completely separate from my main checking account. Right now in 2024, these accounts are paying between 4 and 5% interest, which means your money actually grows while it sits there. When I started my emergency fund, I opened an account at Ally Bank on a Tuesday afternoon, and it took maybe 10 minutes. You could also use Marcus, Capital One 360, or Discover. The key is that it needs to be at a different bank than your checking account, so there's friction. Not so much friction that you can't access it in a real emergency, but enough that you won't transfer it back for pizza. Open the account today. Don't wait until you have money to put in it. The account existing makes it real and gives your savings a destination. Step 2 is to calculate your real number and then divide it into weekly bite-sized chunks that don't hurt. $1,000 in 90 days breaks down to about $77 per week. Now, I know what you're thinking, $77 a week sounds like a lot when you're already stretched thin. But here's the thing, you're not going to find $77 lying around in one big chunk. You're going to find it in $10, $15, and $20 pieces throughout your week. Grab a calculator right now and do this. Take $1,000, divide it by 13 weeks, and you get $77. That's your weekly target. Write it down, put it in your phone, make it visible. When I was building my first emergency fund, I had this number on a sticky note on my bathroom mirror. Every Sunday night, I'd check whether I hit $77 that week. Some weeks I got 70, some weeks I got 90, but the target kept me locked in. If 77 feels impossible, start with 50 and extend your timeline to 20 weeks. 5 months is better than never. The math makes it real. The weekly breakdown makes it doable. Here's something most personal finance gurus won't tell you. In 2022, I spent $312 on my birthday dinner, and I don't regret a single cent of it, even though I was still building my emergency fund that year. Why? Because I had already hit my weekly $77 transfer that week, and the dinner was planned and saved for separately. The point isn't to punish yourself or live like you're broke when you're trying to save. The point is to make your savings automatic first, then enjoy what's left guilt-free. That one dinner kept me motivated for 3 more months of consistent saving because I didn't feel deprived. So yeah, save aggressively, but don't become a martyr to your budget or you'll quit by month 2. Step 3 is the fun part. Find your first $200 in money you're already spending on things you don't actually value. I'm not telling you to stop buying coffee or cancel your subscriptions and be miserable. I'm telling you to audit your spending and cut the stuff you genuinely don't care about. When I did this exercise, I found $187 in the first month. I was paying for a gym membership I hadn't used in 2 months. That was $43. I had Hulu, Netflix, and HBO Max, but I only actually watched Netflix. That was $32 saved right there. I was buying lunch at work 4 days a week at about $12 each. So I started packing lunch 3 days a week, and saved about $144 per month. Here's your action step. Log into your bank account right now and scroll through the last 30 days of transactions. Look for subscriptions you forgot about, food you bought out of convenience, not desire, and purchases you made on autopilot. You're looking for $200 of stuff you won't even miss? That's your first 2.5 weeks of emergency fund money, and you didn't have to earn a single extra dollar. Step 4 is to create one automatic transfer every single week on the same day and protect it like it's a bill. Here's the contrarian part that's going to make some people mad. According to a 2023 study by the American Psychological Association, people who automate their savings report lower financial stress than people who manually save even when they save the exact same amount. Why? Because decision fatigue is real. Every time you manually decide to transfer money, you're burning willpower you could use somewhere else. But most financial advice still tells you to be disciplined and move money yourself like it's some kind of character test. That's garbage. Automation isn't cheating, it's the actual strategy that works. Set it once and forget it. Here's exactly what I did. Every Friday, the day after I got paid, I had $50 automatically transferred from my checking account to my high yield savings account. I set it up once and then it just happened. Some months I found extra money and manually added more. But that $50 every Friday was non-negotiable. In 6 months, that one transfer put $1,500 into my emergency fund without me thinking about it. Go into your bank app right now and set up a recurring weekly transfer. Start with whatever amount you calculated in step 2. The amount matters less than the consistency. Make it automatic, make it weekly, and make it the same day every week so it becomes invisible. The transfer should feel like rent, non-optional, and automatic. Step 5 is to find one extra income boost this month and drop the entire amount straight into your emergency fund to build momentum fast. I'm not talking about starting a whole side hustle or working 60-hour weeks. I'm talking about one thing, one time that puts an extra $100 to $300 in your pocket this month. When I was building my emergency fund, I sold stuff I wasn't using anymore on Facebook Marketplace. I got $85 for an old guitar I hadn't touched in 2 years, $40 for a pair of boots that didn't fit, and $65 for some video games collecting dust. That's $190 in one weekend. You could also pick up one extra shift if your job allows it, do a quick gig on TaskRabbit or Rover, or claim a bank account sign-up bonus, which often pays between $100 and $300 just for opening an account and setting up direct deposit. The point isn't to burn yourself out. The point is to use one intentional burst of effort to jumpstart your fund and prove to yourself that this is really happening. Pick one thing this week, sell 5 things you don't use. Work one extra shift, sign up for one bonus offer. Then take that money and move it immediately into your emergency fund before it gets absorbed into your regular spending. This is the foundation of everything else. You can't build wealth, pay off debt, or invest for the future if every little emergency sends you backwards. So here's what I want to know. What's the first thing you're cutting or selling this week to find that money? Drop it in the comments because I read every single one. And I want to cheer you on. If this was helpful, hit that subscribe button because next week I'm breaking down exactly how I paid off $40,000 of debt on an average salary, and you're not going to want to miss it. You've got this. Now go build that fund.